With your permission. Guys, we're in the middle of the 4th chapter. We're talking about the midah, the character trait of how to acquire zehirut. Zehirut is vigilance. Right? We said that you acquire this by using your introspection, by taking time every day to thinking about your actions. And he's right now in the middle of a conversation about some foolish people who they tell themselves, I don't want to use my mind, I don't want to do this thinking process, it's a waste of time. And he says like this, Me'ata, im ken kashe alehem, if it's so difficult for these kind of people, liot shefalim mizulatam ma'alot medumot v'chozvot, to be so lowly that they're lower than others with regard to their place in their illusions or like false levels that they think. It says she'ena shiflut bam ela lefanim. It says all the lowliness is only a superficial thing that they have. It's only superficial. Any status is nothing but shtuyot. It's false. It's not true. It's not real. It says, how will those people be able to see themselves in the world to come? Right? There's people in this world who, you look down on them and they're like those little tiny people in this world. Like we discussed that Gemara, that in the world to come, there's going to be people who are all the way down over here, they're going to be on top over there. And the people who are on top over here are going to be all the way on the bottom over there.
Is that always the case?
No, it's more of a spiritual thing, that people who are full of themselves and stuff like that, and they think everything's them, they're going to be on the bottom over there. But the people who are humble and down to earth, and they use their minds, and they think before they do things, they're going to be on the top over there. So he says, how are these people over here, if they think about it, how are they able to cope, to be able to think about the fact that they're going to be under the people who are really under them now? It's going to drive them insane. They're going to go crazy. So they're saying it's not possible. So he says, that place is the place of true eternal honor. That's the most amazing place. That's the world to come, right? There's nothing left to do. Once you get there, it's over. There's no more mitzvot. There's no more trying to acquire. There's no more trying to grow. Once you've reached the world to come, finito, siyamnu, zeu. You can't go any further. You have to do everything you can over here to get to over there. And so those people who don't use their minds over here and they just do whatever they want, those are the people in the world to come. They're going to be like, what just happened? They're going to be so shocked. They don't understand how things just played out. And he says, Sha'af al pi sha'achshav ein makirin oto vet erko. Even though right now those people don't appreciate the value of Olam Haba. They don't appreciate the value of the world to come. He says, Al ken lo yachushu elav. They're not concerned about it. Aval bizmano vaday shekiru al amito letzaram levoshtam. But in that time when they get there, it's going to be such an embarrassment. They're going to be so embarrassed, so disgraced. He says, Vaday shelo yelahem ze ela tsar gadol v'nitzchi. This will only be an eternal type of pain for those kind of people. We don't want to be like those kind of people. We want to be able to use our minds, to use our intellect, to think right from wrong. Those people, they lost. They're losing out. The only thing we can do is to try to help them and wake them up so they realize before they get to the next world that you're losing it. He says, Harei lecha. He concludes over here like this. She'en hasavlanut hazeh asher hem dorshim la'atzmam la'akel mehem chomer avodah. This patience or tolerance, he says, to only receive that small place in the world to come, right? They're like, no, I'm good. I don't have to do all the mitzvot. I'm good with it, my place in the world to come. He's saying they, let's say, advocate for themselves, that which they're doing, in order to ease for themselves the weight that they have on them. He says, it's only it's only the Yetzer Hara trying to trick them. The Yetzer Hara is tricking them into thinking, oh, it's so much, you have so much to do, and they don't do it, and then they get to the next one and they're like, oh my gosh, I lost out on everything. Right? The Yetzer Hara comes and tells you, don't wear tzitzit, it's not a big deal. Don't wear wool, don't put the strings, wear all different shtiyo. Then what happens? All of a sudden you get to 10 years later, like I just lost out on 10 years of mitzvah. We have to use our minds to think, I have to take upon the mitzvah at the right time when I'm ready for them, but why am I waiting? What's the thing holding me back? And think about it, is it the Yetzer Hara really holding me back? Don't let him hold you back. You have to push yourselves out of that bubble. He says, "Velo davar amiti klal." He says it's not a valid argument at all.
That's right.
Ukvar lo haya makom lepitui ze lahem. This is not even there's no basis of trying to entice them. Why? Lulei hayu ro'im amitat ha'inyan. If they would only see the truth, they would be able to understand what's going on. They don't see the truth. Aval lefi she'em mevakshim oto. Because they don't seek the truth. They don't want to know the emet. V'holchim shogim lirtzonam. They go do whatever they want. Hine lo yusar mehem pituyam. He's saying their delusion will not be removed from them. They can never understand what the truth is unless they go and try to find it. Ad hazman asher lo ya'ilayim, until they have no more time to fix it, which is in the world to come. Ki lo yeh od bi'adam letaken et asher shichetu. He says there is no way to fix what is destroyed. You know, when you get to the world to come, there's no more mitzvot. There's no more learning Torah. Meaning, there's no more acquiring mitzvot. There's no more building yourself up, that big person you can be in the world to come. That is only here. Hashem gave us and brought us into this world so that we can build ourselves up for the next world. Right? We're trying to... Yeah, you have a question?
After you finish.
You're trying to gather up as much as... Think about it as like a game, right? You're trying to score as many points as you can until the end of the game. Once the game's over, you can't go back. You can't at the end of the fourth quarter, you lost, and say, no, let's replay the fourth quarter. Only like Mashari Magic, we do that with like, practice games. It's not real life. Real life, fourth quarter ends, game's over. You get to the world to come, it's over. So what do you got to do? It's like fourth quarter right now. Right now it's Mashiach time. Right now we're waiting for Mashiach to come, but it's the fourth quarter. The only thing we can do is push ourselves in that fourth quarter. You have to get yourself to the end, so you can score as many points as you can. You have to get as many mitzvot as you can. Don't hold yourself back. Yeah, what was your question?
Question is, you said that once you get to the world to come, you can't really do anything. Like you can't do any more mitzvot and stuff.
Well, you can't acquire reward for the mitzvot anymore. Yeah.
Well, let's just say like you were like a father and grandfather, and you taught like mitzvot to your kids, and they do it because of you.
Oh, very good. But so you can acquire based from someone else, but not from yourself.
Oh, but
Meaning,
you could technically still move up and down.
Of course. I'll give you an example. For my wedding, I wrote a small little book. I wrote a book on the parasha. I don't know if you guys saw it. There's a few hundred people who are reading this book weekly, this and that. For me, my goal was to teach people the parasha. But in essence, what's happening from that is now, even after my lifetime, there's going to be people still reading it and teaching the Torah that's coming in. The words of that Torah, they said, the Gemara says that a person whose his words of Torah are being spoken after his death, it's like his mouth is moving while he's in the grave. That's what it is. You're causing him so much benefit, so much pleasure in the world to come. So yes, there is an essence like that, but it's something called mitzvah de gufei adifa, that when you do a mitzvah yourself, it's so much greater than when it's done by someone else. You doing it yourself, you have so much more power. We're going to finish off one more minute. It says here, this is what Shlomo HaMelech said. Kol asher timtza yaddecha la'asot b'kochacha aseh. Anything you're able to do, you got to do. This is a very big line. Whatever you're able to do, with your abilities, you have to push yourself to do. Ki ein ma'aseh v'cheshbon v'da'at v'chokhmah b'she'ol asher ata holech shama. Shlomo HaMelech says there is no actions, there is no calculations, there's no knowledge, no wisdom in the grave where we're all going, downstairs. There's no fixing. You got to do it now. If you're not going to do it now, right? We learned this from Pirkei Avot. If not now, when? When are you going to do it? It says, "V'hainu ki ma she'ein ha'adam oseh ad she'hakoach masur biyado mibaro." This means that whatever good deeds a person doesn't do, while the ability Hashem gave him this ability to do it, v'hakoach ha'bechiri ha'masur lo kol yemei chayav. This is his free choice. That's the free choice that Ramchal says. Your free choice is whenever you have the ability to do something and you don't fulfill it. Shehu bahem bechiri u'mitzuveh la'asot. That's his the free will that was given to him, and that's what he's commanded to do in the service of Hashem. And we'll finish off one last line. You're not able to do it while you're in the grave. You don't have the ability to do it anymore while you're in the grave. Someone who doesn't do a lot of good deeds during his lifetime, and you can't do it afterwards. If you didn't think about your actions, calculate your actions, you can't think about it then. There's no time to think about it then. If you didn't become wise in this world, you're not going to become wise in the world to come, guys. It's not going to happen. Shlomo HaMelech says there is no wisdom, there's no fixing, there's no reckoning in the grave, in the next world, in wherever you want to understand it. We have to work on ourselves now. When we work on ourselves now, we'll waken ourselves up to understand that we need to get closer to Hashem, we need to fix our ways, become better people.